Welcome, everybody, to episode 22 of Meet with Cheese Metaverse interviews, people and projects you need to know about. I'm your host, LaDrop with Cheese, coming to you from the Metaverse as usual. And today I have an outstanding guest for you with an exciting NFT collection about to drop. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the founder of the Flying Apes Aviation Club, Alex Princi. Thank you so much for being on my show, Alex.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure, and welcome to Australia. I'm in Australia here, and it's daytime here, and I believe it's evening there.
Yes, and I'm like the evening before you, so you're in the future, and I'm stuck in the metaverse here. So
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. I love your background too. Those images of the flying apes, which is your NFT collection that's about to drop. What are those two images behind you?
One of them is dedicated with aviation. We've had some disasters over the years, and I thought I'd do an in memoriam section. So with the in memoriam section, obviously we lost Kobe recently, feels like recently. So I thought I'd do one for him, draped in Lakers colors and, mentioned. And the other one is, with the war going on, I thought I'd dedicate, there was a famous pilot going around called the Ghost of Kiev, which was, retaliating against this tragic war in Russia and against the Russians. And I thought I'd dedicate one in Ukrainian colors, a jet. Thought I'd dedicate one to him as well, because all 747 pieces, they're all relate to aviation, basically. So, yeah, that's the two pieces. I'm not sure how close you can see them, but they're all unique. Yeah,
they're really colorful. I love the cartoony kind of thing, and it doesn't feel like a sad in memory of someone that we all loved, and I agree. It does feel like Kobe just died last week, it's still be fresh. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious, what's your background and like how did you end up, getting ready here to drop this NFT collection?
Well, when I started out, I thought I was going to drop it within a month, just quickly do everything. And I started last December, actually. What I did with the popularities of NFTs in 2021, I thought, hang on, let's jump on the bandwagon. Let's try and do something myself. I've got a full-time job. Let's do a second full-time job. Let's do something else. Bit of a side hustle. And I thought, okay, these things are popular. Let's do it. So I looked everywhere. I looked high and low, from OpenSea and heaps of other marketplaces, and I saw no one really did aviation, not to the extent that I think I've done it to, because, I've covered quite a lot of topics in aviation, quite a lot of categories, pioneers, airports, actors, in memoriam, aircrafts. I've got over 200 aircrafts, and all words, terms, slang. I've got the phonetic alphabet that the pilots use. So what I did is I thought, let me research this as much as possible. And then basically I had everybody telling me, look, why don't you just copy and paste and do them all the same and just change the hat or change the captain's pilot uniform? I thought, no. I've got to have some point of difference. I thought, look, the apes are cool. I think everybody needs and wants to have an ape in their wallets and buy an NFT with an ape on it. I thought, why don't I put a pilot's uniform on there? Why don't I do the 4 types of aircrafts, which I did. I did an Air Force jet. I did a commercial airliner. I did a private jet, and I did a helicopter. And with those 4, again, each number and each NFT relates to basically, the term, the word, the aircraft. I've tried to design it as best as possible. If you want examples, I can give you examples.
That's great. I love that you just kind of jumped right in. That's the best part of this, is you can kind of create whatever you want in Web3 and build a community around that and give them utility and just kind of bring like-minded individuals together with aviation enthusiasts and people that like to travel. So I really like what you're doing here with your mission, and I'm glad you're here in the metaverse with me. What's your day job though? What did you do all this time leading up to this collection?
Well, well, my day job, I still work in a confectionery factory. So we make chocolates all day. There's a pretty big firm here in South Australia. So that's what we do. We make honeycomb and we do export to the US. I think it's more further east and more further west. But yeah, the Violet Crumble, it's one of the most famous chocolate bars in the world. It's probably in the top 20. It's like a purple wrapper and it's got honeycomb in the middle. So for those of you that see it there, you'll see it. But yeah, basically I work in chocolate. I work in manufacturing, confectionery. So all the chocolate, all the lollies, everything you may see down your grocery stores. And yeah, it's basically what I do during the day. I'm a planner there. And I've got a lot of family into aviation. It's probably why I started scouring the marketplaces and didn't really see anything that stood out. So yeah, just thought I'd do that. But that's my day job is I work with, I get to eat a lot of chocolate basically during the day. Might be envious to some people, but that's what I do.
You know,
Yeah.
I always often wish that I had a job like that where I could just eat all day. But no, that's great, man. I'm glad that you are able to have time to roll this out. And you kind of have some big news, right? Today's the big day for the free mint. So the first 7, if you want an actual profile picture and be part of the community with your NFT, you want to get this free mint first because that'll guarantee it, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I've done some digital passports and they'll be free. They'll be on, yeah, OpenSea. They just got to look up Flying Apes Aviation Club. And yeah, and then it's another week on the 22nd of September is when we launch the actual NFTs into different categories and giving different, yeah, basically travel discounts. I've been lucky to get some sort of utilities attached to the project, which I know are very important nowadays.
Yeah, that's great. So some of the utility is that you have access to a membership where you get discounted travel, right? Like, tell us a little bit about how that is going to work.
Yeah, there's basically 3 tiers of pricing and NFTs. You know, depending on how much you spend, basically the more you save on your travel. And with a couple of the websites, you go on whitelist, you go and choose a specific NFT that you may want. And then what that does, eventually, once you buy them, purchase the NFT, when it comes to the travel club, let's say you get a 30% off, you go in, you go book a holiday. It's a real basic way of me telling you that you get 30% off, you book a ticket, you also get like a concierge or some sort of tour guide that comes with you and makes the trip a whole lot easier, basically. So that's, I've been lucky to have worked together with another lady called Charlene that has helped quite a bit in helping me with getting these utilities, basically. So it's quite a bit of discount. Yeah, there's free giveaways, obviously. There will be a trip given away. There will be lots of other little, all aviation related. I think there's skydiving. There's, you know, countless gifts related to aviation as well. We do want to donate to Ukraine as well. We want to do as much as possible and give back. Yeah, as much as possible as well.
Yeah, it's such a great idea. I lived on an air base in Afghanistan for a year. So I made friends with so many different pilots of different planes. And I was playing volleyball with some Black Hawk helicopter pilots. And they were always mad at my buddy. We were the kings of the beach in the desert, you know, but they took us up. I'll tell you a quick story because it's kind of funny. It's all related, right? So they take us up. They're like, do you want to go on a helicopter ride with us in a Black Hawk? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I've never been on one. And I had to like get clearance from like the guy who was in charge of our platoon. And they take me up 10,000 feet into the Himalaya, the foothills of the Himalayas there in Afghanistan. And they were purposely fucking with me. They started going like this and like doing all these maneuvers. And I had to take my helmet off and I threw up in my helmet. And there's a famous picture of me holding my helmet in front of the helicopter. We beat them
Well,
in court. They beat me in the air.
yeah, well, I've been on a helicopter. It's a little daunting. Obviously, it wasn't as daunting as what you experienced, but yeah, I can understand. But living on an airbase, wow, it's fairly cool.
It was really loud though. It's like they're
Yeah.
taking off, landing all the time, and it was like the major hub during 2003, 2004 Operation Enduring Freedom. There were so different nations on that base too, but all the people that were pilots were some of the best people I met, the whole time I was out there. So I'm glad that, you're doing this homage to family members and aviation enthusiasts.
Yeah, and
Um,
I've got a lot of jets as well. Like, if there was an F-18, I've obviously went and did a cartoon F-18 of a jet and try to make it look like as best as possible as the F-18. Or yeah, there are countless aircrafts. You just, if you've got a favorite one and you want to get in early, jump on the 22nd, because I'll slowly start minting. Well, they're already on the blockchain. I'll just start listing them basically.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that you gave a good amount of intrigue, like people are like, oh, if I buy a Flying Apes Aviation NFT, I can go skydiving. I can get 30% off a trip. There's definitely a lot of intrigue there for people. And I personally, as like an NFT collector, I've been collecting for 2 years, thousands, many blockchains, but the fact that your collection only has 747 tokens is awesome. And that means that they're all rare because they're all one of one in your collection, and they're colorful and unique. And that's why I definitely wanted to talk to you today about your upcoming drop. And today's the big day for the free mint of Digital Passport. But so how's it been going in the NFT space for you? Have you been communicating with a lot of people in Australia locally or just mainly online?
Yeah, definitely, definitely online. I mean, it hasn't been easy, put it that way. It has not been easy. You do get a lot of roadblocks along the way. You get a lot of naysayers, a lot of, yeah, there's quite a few people along the way that have taught me to be positive and to be energetic and to, yourself included, Joey. Every time I would go see one of your Instagram posts and I stalked you on there, I'm thinking, wow, look at the energy of these guys. Always to remain positive. Charlene as well, obviously from the Omniverse. And there are a lot of people before that as well. So as far as my journey, who am I talking to? I've got a lot of aviation connections through LinkedIn. In saying that, one of the things I probably could have done better is hyped up and build up community, but I understand that that's not always a huge necessity when it comes to NFTs nowadays. Yeah, sure, it's good to have a great following. I mean, I've probably got about a 10,000 following on social media all up if I go through all the platforms, with Twitter, Insta, and LinkedIn. But yeah, just communicating with everyone one by one. And, I think I've got a very cool trailer. I'm sure you've seen it. The Top Gun related trailer is probably, I don't know, I still think it's the best NFT trailer out there if anyone hasn't seen it. I've got a spruik it, go to YouTube, Flying Apes Aviation Club trailer. And yeah, just recreated one of the scenes from Top Gun. I thought that's pretty cool. So that had 10,000 views in 1 month. So I was very happy with that.
Wow.
Yeah, that started off the campaign, the marketing campaign, and yeah, just slowly connecting with as many aviation people as possible. And obviously now I'm on these sort of interviews to try and reach the NFT fans as well, not just the aviation people.
Yes, definitely. And hey, for anyone who's watching this, if you haven't seen the trailer for the Flying Apes Aviation Club, it is worth it. Trust me. They recreate this scene with flying apes on the characters in Top Gun. It's an iconic scene in the movie anyways, and it just makes it even better seeing cartoon flying apes on their head. So well done, man. I did watch that video more than once.
Thanks. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So as far as like the metaverse goes, I'm curious, like, what is your definition of the metaverse? We all have a different definition, but like, how would you define the metaverse? And how do you think humans are going to interact with it in the future?
Um, Again, look, I feel like in Australia we're still a little bit behind when it comes to things like the metaverse and engaging online. But it's definitely the future. I can see, look, a lot more people wearing headsets and wearing gear and meeting up in these different virtual worlds and communicating. And Web3 is just making it easier and easier and easier to look. It's definitely the future. I can see my kids probably living in it 100%. Even though I'm trying to tell I'm trying to tell my boys, and they're only 11 and 7, and I'm trying to tell them, look, I still want you to go out and see the real world. Do you know what I mean? Because I can see that they're slowly delving in with technology. They're, with the phones. It's like, okay, I can see that if they're this addicted nowadays, the future is just, adults will get there. There are, obviously some of us with not as well versed with technology, but look, you're crazy if you think that the Web3 and Metaverse is not it's going to have probably the biggest impact in society coming up, definitely in the future. That's, no doubt. Yeah, and NFTs and cryptocurrencies, all that all relates, whatever. If it makes your life easier, everybody's going to jump on, basically. That's my take.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. It's everyone eventually is going to be leveraging this new internet, Web3, the metaverse, NFTs, blockchain, crypto. It's all trending that way, and all the money's flowing that way. And it really is, anyone can create now and build for themselves in communities that have of like minds. And that's what's most intriguing to me. It's just a big
you don't need agents anymore. You can do it yourself. I saw a crazy statistic where in 2021, where NFTs were at their peak, and like this, that, the other, there was like something like $37 billion spent in 2021 on NFTs. And I think of May this year, even though everybody's saying, look, it's taken a little bit of a slow downturn, I think we're already past 40 billion or something spent on NFTs this year alone in 2022. So that was a crazy statistic, but I thought, wow, are we really at that figure? So yeah, we're only in September.
Yeah, and a lot of these collections, the transactions are still there. Like, yes, the revenue's down on OpenSea and other platforms, bear market, but people are still transacting regularly on every blockchain, and it's exciting to see. One of the blockchains, maybe for phase 2 of the Flying Apes, is Solana. They have like 12,000 transactions a day for NFTs, and that's impressive considering that we're in a bear market right now, but people are still buying Solana NFTs. People are buying NFTs every, Hey, did you guys hear? And is Shark Week a thing in Australia at all?
Yeah, I've seen Shark Week or Shark Tank. Is that what you mean by the show?
No, more so Discovery Channel here in America, they do Shark Week, and it's all these new shows with like, sometimes there's famous people like in a cage with sharks. So it's a big thing here. That was like probably one of my favorite free NFT drops all year. Every night they had this guy named Bob the Shark, and he dresses up like a shark, and it's super cheesy. But you had to watch the show every night, and at about 8:30 local time, there would be a QR code on the screen, and you'd have to, scan it, and you'd get a free NFT every day. And they're actually worth money now. So
yeah, well, it's good.
Crazy stuff happening in this world, like there were 16,000 of those given away every day. So it's happening. And you're having it's good timing for your collection, which I'm really excited that I'm already a part of, but I won't ever sell it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say you should buy 3. You buy one to hold on to forever. You buy another one to flip it, and another one to give away. Say,
or flip 2 of them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I think this is definitely a collection where I'm going to want to be part of it. I love aviation. Actually, where I'm living nowadays, like out in the Chicagoland area, there's it's called Baton Airport. It's like right here. So there's like a lake across the street, and there's no motorized boats on it. So I'll grab a tube, go tubing with my 6-pack of beer, and I see the planes coming in and leaving. It's like private jets, prop planes, all sorts of different. So I'm a big fan of your collection and admire what you're doing for this. So I'm glad there's a lot.
We appreciate it. I appreciate it, Joey. And aviation itself is a remarkable industry as well. Yeah. But yeah, definitely appreciate it, Joey.
Yeah. So September 22nd, that's the big day, right?
Yes, that's the big day. They've declared it a public holiday here in Australia because worked our hand because the Queen passed away. So they gave us a public holiday here, being part of the whole monarchy. So yeah, it'll give me time to start listing these things on OpenSea, which is great. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So you have a day off because of the Queen. All right.
Yeah.
And the public, everyone watching, the public mint is going to be September 22nd. Right now, after this interview, you guys got to go and get your free boarding pass, or it's called a digital passport from Flying Apes Aviation Club. Alex, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate just talking with you. Thank you for being up so early in the morning for this, but I can't wait for your collection to drop next week.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joey. And thank you to all NFT supporters around the world. Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Take care, man. Go on.